Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy Devins with Quietmind Yoga, and this is day 3 of our Healthy Hips and Hamstrings program. Today we're focusing on the hamstrings, the back of the legs. We'll need a strap for this practice. If you don't have one, you can use any belt you have at home. And there are some modifications. If you don't have any of that, we can work with it. So we're going to start our practice on the back. Just come on down, have your strap nearby. And let's start just by resting on the ground. Palms open, feet relaxed. Let's take a moment to land here, noticing your breath. Hug your knees in towards the chest here. Rock a little bit side to side on the back. And then lower your left foot down to the mat. With your strap, bring it around the arch of the right foot and extend the leg towards the ceiling. So you're holding one side of the strap in each hand, and the leg's vertical, and it doesn't need to go any further past that. Vertical is far enough, and if it doesn't quite go vertical, that's fine. You can bend the knee as well. Right leg's extending, flex the right toes towards you, and then point the right toes towards the ceiling. Again, flex the toes back towards you, and then point towards the ceiling. And then bend the knee a bit, bend the right knee in towards the body, pull with the strap to create a little resistance, and then push through the right heel towards the ceiling. And then not as much tension in the hands, no tension in the shoulders, so your arms are just holding the strap here. Your left leg can stay right there, or if you prefer, you can extend the left leg down to give you a little more depth into the stretch, but if it is uncomfortable in any way, just keep that knee bent. So the hamstrings are just 3 main muscles here in the back of the leg. Basically, you can think of it as inner, outer, and center. So there's 3 main muscles we'll focus on with the hamstrings. And starting with this first stretch here, the right heel's towards the ceiling, Eka Pada Koundinyasana, reclined hand to foot pose. And again, if you don't have a strap here, you can just hold your hands behind the thigh, behind the back of the leg, clasping the fingers to help you hold the leg vertical. And even if you have the ability to hook the big toe, we won't go there yet. We will build into that in the coming weeks of this program. So here first, basically focusing on the middle hamstring. And then we'll keep everything the same. Just rotate your leg to the right. Right? If you think about waving your hand from the shoulder, your leg's like that as well. Your right hip rotates to the right, so you get about a 15 to 30 degree angle. And then you should feel a slightly different stretch in the back of the right leg. Other things still apply though. The right heel's pressing towards the ceiling. The arms are minimal effort. The right toes flexing back towards the knee. Giving it a good 30 to 40 seconds in each of these positions. Basically, so the brain gets the signal, the body gets the signal that we can start to lengthen the fiber here and very slowly over time add a little more length to the muscle fiber. And then we'll go back to the center and then slightly rotate to your left. Slightly, so you feel a slightly different stretch in the back of the leg. That's what we're looking for. Right heel's pressing towards the ceiling, shoulders are relaxed. Sometimes I like to wrap the strap around my hands so that my arms can just totally let go, and then I'm still held there. Right, the movement starts at the hip, so it's a slight internal rotation. And then come back to center. Bend the right knee in towards the body a little bit. Pull with the hands. Resist that with the foot, pressing the heel towards the ceiling. Once again, bend the right knee slightly in, pull with the hands, and use that resistance to press and strengthen the right leg towards the ceiling. And then we'll slowly lower the right leg down, remove the strap. Just let the right leg rest down to the ground for a moment. Then we'll go to the other side. Starting from right knee bent, left foot towards the ceiling. Left heel is pressing towards the ceiling, left toes flexing towards the body. Point the toes away, and then flex the foot in. Again, point away, and then towards the body. Bend at the knee, pull with the hands, creating resistance, and then press the foot away. Hold here now, we'll stay for several breaths. Left toes pointing back towards the body, the ball of the foot's pressing up, and the left heel is pressing up. Notice if your right toes are tense at all, let them relax. And if you want, you can extend the right leg down to the mat. And we'll keep everything the same, and then you'll externally rotate your leg to the left. So your external rotation, your left heel comes in, left toes go out, and then you'll feel a slightly different stretch in the back of the leg. And we'll come back to center, slight internal rotation, turn the toes in, still pressing through the heel. And then back to center. Bend the left knee, pull with the hands to create resistance. Press the foot away. 2 more times, bend at the knee, pull with the hands, press the foot away. And again, bend at the knee, pull with the hands, press the foot away. Remove the strap, let your leg down. And just let your strap over to the side. Let both legs out to the ground like we started, palms open beside you, just noticing the effects of the sort of opening postures here. Hug both knees in. Hold outside the feet for happy baby. Bend one knee in, extend the other leg, and go side to side like this a few times. Creating a little movement here, dynamic stretching into the hamstrings. Side to side, one leg at a time. Relax, gentle, no rush. Noticing what you can feel here. Listening to your body for what it needs. It might be smaller movements, might be bigger movements today. Back to center. Hug both knees in, rock along the length of your spine, forward and back. And come all the way up to your hands and knees position. And from here, you'll inhale to cow pose. And exhale around the back to cat pose. Inhale to cow, lengthen the spine. And exhale to cat, around the back. To a neutral spine, root through your hands and your left knee. Lift your right foot towards the ceiling. So right knee's bent, right foot lifting towards the ceiling. Bend the right knee more so the heel comes in towards the tail. So we're strengthening the right hamstring. And then if you want a little more, extend your left arm out in front of you. So now you're balancing, draw the navel in towards the spine. The spine is long. right foot lifting towards the ceiling. Lower that down. Switch sides. Left leg extends back. Left knee bends, foot towards the ceiling. Heel coming towards the tail so you feel a contraction in the back of the left leg. If you want more, extend your right arm out to balance. A lot of yoga, if you've done a lot of vinyasa, there's a ton of hamstring stretching, and maybe not as much of the hamstring strengthening. Both are important and valuable here. Last breath here. And as you exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, pedaling your feet out. Shifting weight side to side. And then come to center and separate your feet off your mat. So feet wide apart so your heels can drop. Walk your hands in so you can get your heels down even more. Lift through the sit bones. Slight internal rotation of the thighs. Rooting through all the knuckles. Lifting the sit bones. Pressing back through the heels. Come back to center. Down dog. Lift the right leg straight back. As you exhale, step the right foot forward into a low lunge, left knee is down. And here, lengthen the spine, hands to the hips. We'll move a few times from here to bending the knee to lower the hands, back to a half splits. So you bring the hips back, right toes point up. Hands are there to help frame you. And then as you inhale, come forward like cow pose, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, come back like cat pose around the back. Continue a few rounds like this. Dynamic stretching into the hamstring. Next time you come back, we'll hold there in half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. You might need to move your left knee back a little bit. And with your fingertips on the ground, lengthen the spine. This might be plenty. You might not need to fold in at all. And really, when you do, it's more stretching the back anyway. You're already extending the hamstring and getting plenty of stretch there. Just like we did before, slight external rotation of the leg. So your right toes slightly point out to the right, so you feel more of a stretch on the inner hamstring. And then slight internal rotation. So your foot slightly turns to the left, your leg turns to the left a little bit, and you feel a stretch on the outer hamstring. You should feel this on the outside of the right leg. Back to center, back to our low lunge. Hands down, step back to down dog. And pedal the feet out, shift weight side to side, just noticing left and right. Look between the hands, step your left foot forward, right knee down. And again, we'll do this movement as you inhale, like cow pose, lift the chest. Like cat pose, round the back as you walk the hands back, straightening the left leg. Inhaling forward into the lunge, cow pose. Exhale back into half splits, like cat pose. Forward, inhale. Back, exhale. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Hold and breathe here again. Again, your back rounding is the last thing, the least important. And if you have blocks at home, right, I didn't say this at the beginning, but if you just happen to have them nearby and you want to use them to find a little more length in the spine, that's fine. Might not be needed though, so it can always just be on the fingertips. So we're focusing on the middle hamstring. And the hamstring connects essentially from your glute to your knee. So if you feel this more towards the knee or the glute, we want to adjust and modify so we feel it more in the belly of the muscle. You might need to shift weight back a little more or forward, or lift higher in the spine to find that. Like before, we'll externally rotate the legs. So your toes slightly point out to the left. So you feel this more on the inner hamstring. And then internally rotate the leg. So you feel this on the outer hamstring. Back to center, forward into the low lunge, back to down dog, pedal the feet out, noticing left and right. From here, forward to plank pose, shoulders over wrists, spine long, navel drawing in. From here, we'll lift the right leg straight back, bend the right knee, lift through the right thigh, contracting the back of the leg. Also building some heat and some core stability here for balancing in a moment. Right foot comes down, left leg lifts, left knee bends, left foot lifts towards the ceiling. Back of the right thigh is also very engaged here. Lower down. Step forward to the front of your mat. Knees bent a lot. Forward fold, belly in between the knees. And then we'll slowly ease into the hamstring. Start to straighten the legs. As you inhale to a half lift, extend the spine. As you exhale, fold forward, knees just a little bent now. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Hold here. Knees maintain a slight bend. Thighs slightly internally rotated, so your sit bones widen. Hands press into the thighs to lengthen the spine. From here, we'll lower the hands. You can use blocks again if you like, or fingertips. Bend the right knee, right heel towards the tail. And then start to lift off the left hand, lift off the right hand, come up to standing, maintaining that bend in the right knee. We'll slowly lower back down, and then we'll lift the right thigh to be parallel to the ground. So we're in standing splits, and then point the right toes, bend the right knee again, lift through the right foot. Walk your hands over to the left, keep the legs the same. Relax the left toes, and then walk your hands over to the right. Back to center, right foot lowers down. Bend the left knee, all the weight into the right foot. Hands are just there to help support you for a moment. You might need to bend your right knee as you do this. Slowly rise up, all the way to stand. Keeping the bend in the left knee. And then we'll slowly fold in again. Keep the legs the same. Left foot towards the ceiling. And then extend the left leg back. Bend the left knee again. Lift through the foot. Walk your hands over to the right. And walk your hands over to the left. And then back to center. Keep that bend in the left knee. And then slowly lower, straighten the left leg. Shift weight side to side, pedaling the feet out. Inhale, lift halfway up, extend the spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale to reach all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Relax the toes, root through the feet, shoulders down the back. So we'll come into a dancer pose variation here. Basically just building on what we've already done. Hands beside the body, hands to the hips. Bend the right knee. Shift forward at the waist. Lift through the right foot. And then extend the left arm out in front of you. Right hand's on your hip to help you balance. Lift through the right thigh. Bend the right knee to contract the hamstring and strengthen the back of the leg. At the same time, there's a forward fold happening, so the left hamstring is lengthening. Come back up. Other side. Right foot roots down, hands to hips. Left knee bends. Fold at the waist. Lift through the left foot. And then balance. Right arm extends out. Left hand is there to help you balance. Right knee can bend a little bit if that helps. But otherwise, just a micro bend. Left heel lift in. Just like dancer pose, there's a slight back bend. The emphasis here, though, is more on the left thigh contracting, the left hamstring contracting, and the right hamstring lengthening as you fold at the waist. Come back up to stand, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, come all the way down, forward fold. Pedal the feet out side to side. Bend your left knee deeply, fold in over the right leg. Bend the right knee, fold over the left leg. And then inhale, lift halfway up, internal rotation of the thighs. Spine extends, hold and breathe here for a moment. So you're pushing the hands into the thighs, extending the spine out from the hips widening, the sit bones widening. And then from here, we'll bend the knees, come all the way down to the ground, all the way to your back, knees hug in, rock side to side on the back. And from here, we'll lower the feet down to the ground. Shift your hips over to the right. And extend your left leg down. Hug your right knee in, over to the left. Right shoulder comes to the ground, so you can scoot your left side up a little bit. So you can get some length through the side body. And if you want more here, you can extend your right leg and catch it big toe with the left hand. And back to center, slowly release. Hips over to the left, right leg straight, left knee in, across the body. Scoot your right side up, left shoulder down, and maybe you extend your left leg here, holding the foot. If you have to bend your left knee a lot to catch the foot, don't do it. It's not needed. It's not going to add a ton. But if you want to work towards that, you can just start to straighten your left leg, holding on to the back of the thigh. Any pain or strain in the knee, go away from that. And then we'll come back to center. Back to the middle, hug the knees in, rock side to side. Hold outside the feet, happy baby. Right heel in, left leg extends. Other side, going side to side. Just gentle, dynamic stretching of the hamstrings. Maybe a little more free range of motion here from the practice, just noticing the effects. Then we'll come back to center. Let your left leg down, your right leg down. Arms reach overhead, toes point down, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Again, whole body stretch, toes, the fingertips, inhale. And then arms down beside you as you exhale. Shavasana, last resting pose. As always, if you have longer to stay here, up to 6 minutes or more, please do. If you only have 30 minutes today, we'll just stay briefly here for a few breaths. Feel the fingertips. Notice the toes and the fingertips. Start to make small movements of the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, arms and legs. Hug the knees in, over to one side. Then press yourself back up to sitting. Take a moment in sitting, noticing the effects of your practice. Hands together at the heart, bowing the mind to the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice today. Namaste.